Hi guys.
Hi, it's nearly afternoon here.
It is nearly
afternoon.
And we are out here outside because we are pretending to wash the wool in the lake, which we don't do quite.
Because there's bugs.
Alligators?
Sure, we can pretend that. So we recently acquired some amazing Shetland. Amazing Shetland.
Perfect Shetland. We found out it is true Scottish line Shetland.
Look at that crimp.
Made in America.
Made in America.
It is incredible. And this is just a random bag.
Years of work. Random bag, random handful I just pulled out. So we've been seeing on the internet a lot of information about scouring. What soap? This soap, that soap.
Don't use this.
Soap,
don't use
soap,
that. You only
soap.
use that.
Soap, and more soap. Okay, there are a lot of fleeces that don't need soap. They are not greasy. Long wools don't tend to be greasy. Shetlands don't tend to be greasy. You know, all you have to do,
right?
They have salts in them because all animals, when they you know, their bodies have salts on them. That's how they keep keep themselves from getting fungus.
Jack, come here.
He's barking at a chicken.
Right.
And I have psoriasis, and I can tell when there's salt on the wool.
Right.
It does not feel good. But if I simply, you know, lanolin's great. I love lanolin. It feels good on the skin, but salts don't. Those salts actually help clean your wool. So I'm sticking a handful of this in. This is simply cold water. And you can see the salts will lift, the dirt will lift, and I could literally leave this for an hour or two. I don't really want to leave it longer than that because then we get close to like suet method, which is like literally bacteria eating the
stuff. And there's no need for that for clean wool like this.
Yeah, I mean that's reserved for really nasty wool. And that smells really bad, and I'm not into smelly wool. As you can see, I'm just going through. These tips were a little dirty because, you know, sheep live in fields, they lay in mud. They do sheep stuff. But I'm just going to play with it. There is no soap in here. There's no soap.
Well, this is just cold tap water.
But look at that. Look how much filth is coming out of this because, you know, sheep live in fields.
And the lanolin does trap the dirt. However, lanolin, when I posted on Sunday about the Aran sweaters, this is very similar to what they would have used for Aran sweaters. They would have left this lanolin in. Not all of it. They would have probably done just this. They would have rinsed the sheep before they sheared them. A lot of people do that. And
the lanolin. The lanolin stays in, but lanolin's not bad.
No, it's just the dirt you want out.
It's the dirt you want out, the salts you want out.
So what are
those things?
What are some advantages to having lanolin in your wool?
Oh my gosh.
It keeps it waterproof.
It helps you spin it finer.
Yes, because it wants to stay together. And we're going to go ahead and dry this and spin it so you guys can actually see how it spins. It won't be today because...
It won't be today, but you can see a little bit of grease shine on the top of this water.
Yes, you can.
This is seriously, all this is cold water. It's cold. My fingers are cold. Cold tap water. Okay, let's talk about pH of water.
Okay.
So, you know, you hear, oh, well, you should only use rainwater. You should only use this water. You should only use that water. Yes, hard mineral water will leave a
This
deposit.
water is probably at a 6.5 or 7. We live in a very pH neutral area.
But then again, you know, if we get a really strong westerly wind from across the ocean, you never know, we might have acid rain from you know, Japan. So really our pH is very dependent upon our environment. And I don't think the pioneers hundreds of years ago really or people were really
tested their water.
No, I don't think they even knew what pH was at that point. They didn't fly airplanes yet.
And one of the things is I'm gonna move this way stuff
so they can see the water too. They want to see the water. The dogs are like playing. People want to see the water too. So I'm just flicking seeds out, and this is just gonna This wool's all wet, and I'm just playing with the tips. Here, I'm gonna pull it. Hey!
Well, he got in trouble for that one.
Okay, I was going to rinse the water. Can you grab that fleece that's now sitting in a puddle? I will take this, and Heather's gonna get me another bucket of water. Go play, dogs. And we're gonna like have a Bob Ross moment out here as I water the plants with barn water. I'm gonna call this barnyard water. But really, if you've never, this is so cool. There's like layers of stuff. I know that probably grosses some of you out. But I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna water the fence line. We're gonna look outside. You know, we sometimes have bears that walk on the other side of the lake here, and cranes come and visit. It's really fun. You can see that in the bottom of my bowl, I have a nice dirt layer. That's what came out of this fleece. Like I said, this fleece is exceptional. See how absolutely amazingly clean it is naturally. Even if I had scoured this with soap, it does not mean that these tips will come clean in a soap scenario because of the closed lock structure. There has been times that I have scoured with soap and I still have dirty tips. And so that the only difference between this scouring with cold water, can I get some in my bowl? Scouring with cold water versus hot water and a scouring agent is that I am leaving the natural oils in this, the lanolin. Jack is literally barking at branches falling out of the trees. The ninjas are up there. As you can see, the difference this time of what's coming out of there, I'm not sure if they can see it at my angle because of the sun, is it's no longer dirt, it's milky. Those are oils that are coming out, the natural salty oils, because sheep have more than one oil, just like humans do. They have a salty oil, like sweaty stuff, and then they have lanolin. Lanolin, when they produce it out of the fleece, now I'm just being nitpicky and picking, you know, breakfast out of the fiber. When they produce lanolin that you use on your skin, they actually boil it out of the fleece. It's actually, lanolin is inside the hair shaft of the fleece. You cannot scour it all out. And if you attempt to, you end up with crispy wool.
Right, and it feels over-processed and disgusting.
That happens with a lot of scouring agents. Yet again, I have more dirty wool. And I will continue to do this. I could continue to do this as long as I so chose, until I had what I deemed clean enough.
We'll do one more.
Do one more? We have one more bucket worth?
Yep. See if we can do this while holding the phone.
Ooh.
We should be through our, blooper of the day.
Yeah, we actually did a class without a blooper. Okay, so we put this in there this time.
Yeah, you can see really...
It hardly anything lifted out of this wool.
Yep.
Hardly anything. So yeah, and this is how they would have done a good portion of their soap. Was a high commodity, man. People didn't bathe that often. Well, and the only
soap they had was lye soap, really.
Right. And the way they got the lye was they had to extract it from ash.
Right. And I mean, if I squeeze this, you'll see the water is still staying pretty clean. Anything that comes out is milky. This is, for all intents and purposes, clean wool, even though we didn't use anything on it.
So,
and we love, there's a lot of wool soaps that we love. We carry wool soaps, we use wool soaps. But for a fleece like this, which is a beautiful, tender, amazing fleece.
Right, it doesn't need scouring. Another thing I have done in the past, if I get a dirty fleece that is going to take a lot of washes, I will do a cold water soak like this
beforehand
with a high lanolin fleece beforehand to open it up, and I will soak. Sometimes for a couple of hours, cold water to just get the dirt out.
Get the dirt off, because
then I'm not wasting soap. I'm not wasting gallons and gallons of hot water, because not only is hot water hot and burns your hands, and by doing that, I prevent over scouring of the wool. Then I'm not over scouring the wool. Aria, not yours.
Aria, drop it. Well, she didn't drop it.
Then I prevent over scouring of the wool. I prevent with too much soap, and then I'm able to get a lot of dirt out of it without the energy. Yes, and Shelly, you do a cold rinse when you shear. It's to keep them clean.
Well, and when we did, okay, if any of you have read Little House on the Prairie books, in Farmer Boy, he describes how they sheared at their Delaine Merinos. They had Delaine Merinos, and
which are the tiny ones?
No, they're the commercial ones.
They're commercial ones.
So they had, and they would take them and they would run them into a stream, and then they would lie them up, soap them up, scrub them, and everything, all of the dirt and stuff rinse downstream, and then they would shear the tape, so then they didn't have to do so much rinsing afterwards. So it's really cool. And we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna go ahead and let this dry, and we're gonna show you guys later how to spin it with that little bit of lanolin left in. There's hardly any left in there, and what the resulting yarn would be like. No, I am not making an Irish sweater. I'm gonna get another piece here. I'm gonna see if I can do this while you guys are looking at the lake. Okay, so you guys can see. So here it is, raw. Whoops, lost it. And here it is clean. Now this is a white fleece. A lot of fleece are not completely, white. You have to remember, this is actually quite a white fleece. But you can see this has the yellow
of the dirt
and the lanolin, where this doesn't. So just that little bit, and it is clean and ready to go. And we could easily go out here to the lake and wash this entire fleece today, but we're not going to do that.
I think we're going to go get breakfast.
We're going to go get breakfast, and now that we have exhausted the puppies by playing this, maybe doing more Tuesday morning videos. Yarding time is here.
Yep.
It's very fun. So
there you go. There you go. Let's not kill our wool. We don't need to have it pristine.
It's a living organism.
It is. Treat it like that. Once you realize that it doesn't have to be scoured within an inch of its life, you are going to find that there are the most amazing nuances between each fleece.
Right.
Every fleece is different, and you can see that. That's why we choose small mills when we send our fleece out.
Right.
And to be made into roving is because those small mills don't overscour our fleeces.
Exactly. All right, you guys have fun, and we'll be at work in a little bit. Bye.
Alrighty, bye.